This bike is really fun.
Yeah. Get up.
I hope the sound is on in this. My camera wouldn't start up, so anyway, we have got the 2016 BMW S1000R. Now, already I can tell that this bike has a little bit more of a tuck with the feet, and we're leaned forward just a little bit. We're gonna let this car go, this van. But we're taking this out for a test spin. And let's see. All these controls here, so many things. This bike has heated grips, it has ABS, it has different ride modes, it has adjustable suspension electronically, it has cruise control, and all this information here on the toggle, trip, average MPG, miles per hour, and the odometer. So yeah, I think that range is probably how many miles you have left before you need to fill up. Let's put it right there on miles per hour. Average miles per hour. Alright, well, let's just turn left here and see where we go. So very quiet exhaust. I heard the exhaust is called the Akrapovic. And we have quick shift here, which is amazing. Don't want to get in too much trouble here. But already I could tell, as opposed to the other bikes, naked sport bikes that I've ridden, that this bike definitely leans forward more than like the last bike I rode was the KTM 1290 Super Duke R, and the one before that was the Triumph Street Triple, the 765 RS. But this bike leans more forward, and that quick shift is like butter. I mean, you don't feel it at all. We're gonna try and just go straight somewhere and then make a U-turn and go back, because I'm not familiar with this area. But this was the most laid back. The sound on this engine is nice. You know, when it's not going, it almost sounds like a diesel engine. But we're talking about 1,000 cc's. I think it's a 999 is what it's rated at officially. But I want to get up to speed. They said to go ahead and take it on the highway, so we'll see if we can do that without getting lost. But initial feeling is fairly comfortable. Like I said, we're leaned forward a little bit more than I'd like, and I'm not just going to try exclusively use the quick shift because it's so nice. And that first to second, you know, I've had quick shifters where that first to second's a little bit of a jerk, and there's no such thing on this. It's just smooth. And everything about this bike is plush. I mean, this is the 2016, so we're not looking at the 2015 had a little bit different look, but it still had most of the same features. It makes me wonder though if you were sitting, if it was, maybe you're sitting a little bit less forward than you are on this one. The tuck is pretty good. Like I said, my knees are up right up against the tank. And it is, you know, it's relatively comfortable for especially for a naked sport. It feels a little more sporty than the other naked sports that I've ridden so far. But it's got a little pep. The power though isn't overwhelming, but I haven't really given it a good roll on the throttle, so I'm gonna guess that if you needed to get on it right away, like here to pass this guy, it's all there. Because I'm just giving it a nice gentle rollback on the throttle, and it's not intimidating at all. Now see here, if I sit up just a little bit here on this bike, I can still reach. I have fairly long arms. I'm 5'6". My wingspan's about 5'10" though, and my inseam is about 30 inches, and I'm tiptoeing this bike a little bit. I believe that I don't know what this guy's doing. I believe that is the quick shift down to? It is. So no reason to use the clutch at all. just kind of here for show, I guess. But the clutch feels really nice, and the friction zone is right in the middle. It's really nice. But sorry, that exhaust sounds nice. Hope it didn't scare that person next to me. Gotta get used to that sound. But yeah, that sound coming completely from the engine, because the exhaust is almost silent, but that noise you can hear is coming directly from the engine. That shifting though is, you know what, we're gonna turn left here. So I'm not sure what this light is for, but we've got all the standard stuff. We've got the tach here, which is analog, and the digital speed right underneath it, or right integrated right into it. We're in road mode. I believe there's also sport mode and rain mode. We've got the gas gauge. We've got a tank full of gas. That's good. We got the time. Let's turn on the turn signal there. Oh, this was the wrong road to turn down. Not really anything over here. Just gonna be used to pulling the clutch in, but there's no need to do that with the electronic quick shift. Something to get used to. Got a little bit of a turn here though. Can't get too fast. But yeah, I like this bike. Do I like it more than the KTM 1290 or the Street Triple? These are going to be tough decisions to make. This particular model of the S1000R is a little bit more expensive than the Super Duke that I rode earlier, so that's something to consider as well. But this model year is model year newer, and nice mirrors. You know what, we're gonna turn around because I don't want to get too mixed up about where I am or where I'm going. So we're gonna take it down this street, make a little U-ey, and get an idea of the slow speed maneuverability of this bike. Gonna test my skills here. Nobody coming. Yeah, that's nice. Nice and well balanced. I got a little bit nervous there just because this isn't my bike. But yeah, no, that's really nice. And kind of go back the way we came. So like I said, I could flat foot if I put my left leg down really easily. But just tiptoeing it just a little bit. Alright, so like I said, the throttle here it's not ultra sensitive, and you can roll on just a little bit, and you know, it gets you going nice and smooth. But like I said, it can it can get on it if you need to. So I want to find out if I can get on the highway. And now if I only could remember how I got here, I could find the highway again, and then we could take a little ride on the highway and find out about what the wind feels like at top speeds or at higher speeds, because that's important to me, especially as a motovlogger. Oh, that quick shift can get you in trouble because it's so easy to get up into higher speeds. Don't want to get into any trouble though. Hey, somebody stole my car. But yeah, really well balanced. I do feel, I mean, it's the nature of sport bikes that, unlike the KTM, I feel like I'm sitting on top of this bike as much, not as much as in the bike like I was on the KTM. So it's a similar feel to the Street Triple, except that I'm leaning forward a little bit more. It doesn't bother me, just a matter of trying not to shrug my shoulders so that, you know, start getting pain in the shoulders, and, you know, that just makes it, turns into a headache really easily. Can we split? Let's try and split with this thing. That looks pretty narrow. We won't try. So this bike is definitely, I would say, a head turner. The KTM, same thing. Street Triple, not so much, I think. Looks more like a normal bike. You know, it doesn't come in a flashy color, so there's that. But again, that's probably not going to get you in as much trouble when you're talking about getting pulled over. But I've never been pulled over, and I don't plan on it, knock on wood. But I can definitely recommend Spirit Motorcycles and Triumph in San Jose. I mean, these guys, I know this is a used bike, but he's just like, go take it out, have fun, take it on the highway. So yeah, I can definitely recommend this. Here's the highway we're gonna get on. So the nice thing about leaning forward when I have to check my blind spot, when I'm on my cruiser, I always hit my camera on my shoulder. Oh, meter on. Oh, that means there's traffic. Not the best timing as far as that goes, but we'll see if we can't find a stretch here. See, on the way back, it doesn't look like there's traffic, so we won't have to worry about that on the way back. So this is showing how well balanced this bike is. I'm not putting my feet down at all, and I don't feel like I'm going to tip over. This is nice, and we're on a little bit of a slope here, so it just gives you an idea. Oh, this was a bad idea. We're just gonna jump off on the first exit we can here and get back on the road. But like I said, this is a good example of just how well balanced this bike is. I'm just letting it idle. I'm not even rolling on the throttle, and it's just going on its own. So that's, again, that's a plus mark for this bike. This guy's gonna let me in. Thank you, sir. How about you? Wanna let me in? Yeah, that was nice of you. Thank you. Nope. This one will, though. All right, so we're looking at wind noise and just being able to get on it when I need to while we're out here. And it's impressive. I'm not getting... Your door's open. Oh, and we got Oakland right here. Oh, maybe this is San Jose. I've never been to downtown San Jose, so this could be that. Huh, interesting. So we're gonna get off and just get right back on. Woo! Now you can't see me, but I've got a giant smile on my face from that. Holy moly. Alright, we're just gonna get off and then get back on and go in the other direction. See, and that could have been me. Alright, so we're up at 53, and the wind noise is a little bit more than I'd like. But I believe you can get a windscreen for this bike to maybe decrease that sound. You know, that wasn't too different than on my Fat Bob as far as wind noise goes. Now, it didn't feel though like I was fighting the wind as I was riding. So there is that. Got these tiny little turn signals up here in front. So again, friction zone really only matters when you are when you're going from stop to go, and it just pulls. I mean, I'm not giving it any throttle at all, and it just goes. Deplane. I don't even know if you can see that. So I mean, definitely having, I'm just gonna get right back on here. Oh, and I do have to wait for the light. I was like, can I just go? Nope. And it's really easy to find neutral here. You know, that's something about certain bikes where, you know, you want to find neutral, and it's not always easy. I can't say that about any of the naked sport bikes that I've ridden so far. Neutral's really easy to find. Maybe that's just a cruiser thing. But yeah, I mean, this bike looks and feels brand new. What did the odometer say? 8,500 miles. All right, so impressions of the S1000R as opposed to the double R model, where you're even more stretched out here for the handlebars. It's probably a little bit lower to the, you know, lower center of gravity, but this bike has great balance. Again, I'm tiptoeing it here. I could put a whole flat foot down on the left if I wanted to, but it's just comfortable all the way around. You know, this is the stock seat on here. I don't feel like I could ride on this for hours, but it's definitely not uncomfortable of a seat. Mirrors, I'm just trying to go over general stuff. The mirrors here are excellent. I think they go well with the bike. Sometimes you find these stock mirrors that don't look like they don't even belong on the bike, but these definitely look like they belong, and it's probably something I would leave as is. Here we go. Oh my goodness. It just goes from 0 to 70 like nothing. And the quick shift just makes it so fun to ride. You know, because this bike has so many technological features, I think more than the KTM, this is where it's going to be a tough decision between, do I want more tech, or do I want the KTM and the power and the 1300cc engine? That's where it's going to depend. But I mean, riding here on the freeway, I mean, this bike just goes exactly where you want it to. It feels nice here in this higher speed turn. Now, if I can only remember how to get back where I'm supposed to be, that would be great. Oh, you know what? I passed it, so we're gonna have to get back on the freeway and turn back around and go the other way. Didn't foresee that being a problem. But we won't get lost here. But there's lots of traffic. Maybe we'll pull over and find out a way to get back to where I need to be without getting back on the freeway. But yeah, so like we're at 5,000 RPM right now, and it just wants to take off no matter where you are in that range. Oh, that's kind of a weird feeling. I don't want to do that again. No, you know what? We're going to get off on a street, because if I get off on this, I'm going to end up somewhere where I'm not going to know where I am. Oh yeah, that's nice. So we're gonna have to get off the freeway and park, and that'll give me a chance to maybe do a walk around on the bike, but I'm not familiar enough with the area to be able to navigate back without getting some help from Siri. So let's exit here. Oh, that's what we're doing. I thought maybe we were getting back on the highway. So let's exit here and find a place to stop, and then we'll head on back. Oh yeah. Oh man, this bike is just so flickable. I don't use that term a lot, but it is definitely appropriate for this bike. All right. Tierman, Silly, and Coleman, you're going to be my parking lot here for a second, so we can take a look at this bike and get back to get back home. All right, we've enlisted Siri to help us get back home. home being the dealer. And here we go. Oh, you know what? We didn't do a walk around. Let's do that really quick. Oh, see, kickstand safety. All right, just really quickly, let's do a walk around of the S1000R. Now, there was more red on the 2015, but it's still, it pops. And that R on the side, yeah, it really pops. You got the stock Akrapovic, I think they call it the silencer exhaust on the end there. They got the front end that looks like it's a pirate because it's so it's so different on one side than it is on the other. My wife doesn't like that, but what are you gonna do? And here's where you can install a bigger windscreen to get a little more wind protection. So here we go. This is a quick walk around. Got the kickstand up so we can just go. All right. I don't want to get hit by a car that's turning in here, so we'll scooch over. So what I will say though about this bike, when I was on the highway at getting up to, not top speed obviously, but getting up to speed on this bike, you can get into a nice tuck, but it feels natural on this bike once you get going really fast to just tuck in and let it go. So just a thought here. You're not only going to get this review, you're also going to get my thoughts, because these are the bikes that I'm considering buying. So there you go. Now if it looks like it's cloudy or foggy, it's not cloudy or foggy. This is smoke from wildfires, just for your information. And also for your information, I'll let you know that I'll put a link in the description. So if you're interested in the specs on this bike, mostly what I do is impressions of how I feel while I ride the bike. But if you're interested in this, you know, the very technical specifications of the BMW S1000R, I'll put a link in the description so you can go straight to BMW's website. All right, so like I was saying before, it seemed like my legs were tucked up a little bit more than maybe I would be comfortable with. Oh, brakes are good. Did I talk about the brakes yet? I haven't talked about the brakes. Well, we've got standard ABS on this baby. Should have just taken that, but we'll let us be the first one out. And we'll put it in neutral, which is again super easy. And just overall really happy with the ride on this BMW S1000R. We'll see if we can't do you know, get going and stop really fast. Hey look, there's a BMW motorcycle dealer right there. That is not where we're going though. So I don't know if you can hear that, but the sound from this engine is really, it's almost beefy sounding when you're at stop here. It's really nice. I was likening it to a diesel engine. But I mean, we are looking at 1000 cc's here. I believe this is an inline 4, and it's like I said, 999 cc's, a liquid cooled engine. And boy, this has a lot of pep. So I probably wouldn't recommend this to a beginner rider, but if you're looking to graduate from your 600cc bike to another bike, this bike has a lot of zip and it's very approachable. It's got linear power if you're gentle on the throttle, but if you really want to get onto it and roll back on that thing, holy crap, it's got power and then some. And you know, I've heard people say when you ride these sport bikes, sport nakeds or sport bikes, you're never really going to reach the peak performance of these bikes and what they're capable of doing. I mean, I totally believe that, because I mean, I think that this, when you look up how fast this bike can go, it says 125 plus. I mean, I'm just not a guy who's gonna reach anything close to that. I mean, will I test the acceleration and will I, really lean into a turn if I took this out on the twisties? For sure. But I definitely stay within my capabilities. I try to stay as well as I can within the law. It's really hard on any motorcycle to stay within the speed limit, and let alone car for that matter. I don't want to stop fast with this car behind me, but I really want to test these brakes. So the brakes feel, I wouldn't say feathery or fluffy. Yeah, people use that word all the time for brakes, right? But it's not as grippy as the KTM was. And I kind of like that because it was a little intimidating on the KTM when I had to stop really fast. I was afraid that it was going to grip so hard that I might feel like I was going to, you know, fly right off the bike, but it didn't do that because I did have to stop really fast. And this bike feels much more gentle on the brakes. But already I can feel, you know, being here in stop and go traffic, I can feel the pain in the wrists and in the hands. It's going to be an issue. I just don't want to wait. And you might think, oh, that one guy, that you just went by a sheriff and you're splitting lanes. Luckily in California, it is legal. And now I don't have to wait in that line. I can wait in this one. So there's not a car directly behind me. So let's oh yeah. After Starbucks. I don't know if you could hear that. Siri just told me to turn 100 or 1,000 feet after Starbucks. Now, if that's not trying to suggestively sell to me that I need to go to Starbucks to pick up a cup of coffee or something to eat, then I don't know what that is. Oh, it's gonna get tight here with that bus. That might be the end of the line as far as this lane split goes. Oh, can we do it? Oh, yeah. Just had to put the feet down there a little bit. Now, I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, here we're back where we need to be. Alright, so we are back at our final destination. I think I've said and felt what I've needed to feel on this bike to make an informed decision. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please signify by liking and or subscribing. Guys, if you're out there riding, be safe. And if you're not riding, get riding. This is that one guy on the S1000R, and I am out.